FM.
Business news is courtesy Guaranteed Trust Bank. Coming up in this morning's edition, we'll bring you a special report on how the story of a visually impaired in Ghana making life on the streets, and then also bring you commodity prices from the local market. And Japanese airbag maker Takata reaches settlement in US. Now let's look at the stories in detail. Now, statistics from the United Nations suggest between 50% and 75% of physically challenged persons across the globe is jobless. Most of them find themselves on the street with little or no hope of building a meaningful future for themselves. While some beg for alms, the few who venture into various trades have to contend with all manner of discrimination and patronage of their work. In the following report, Prince Appiah tells the story of a visually impaired young man who sings on the streets of Kumasi for survival.
Anthony Kwate exhibits his skill on the keyboard here at Tech Junction. He also sings with passion. Beautiful as it may seem, Tony, as he is popularly called, is visually impaired. At age 2, Tony suffered from one of the childhood killer diseases, measles, which strangely affected his eyes. After fruitless effort to find a cure, it cost him his sight. I'm an orphan. I've been in this state since 1983. No school, no job. Tony had to resort to and depend on his God-given talent to survive. He, together with other visually impaired friends, formed the Wonders of Peace of God International Blind Gospel Band. They go from town to town, community to community, to sing at lorry parks and at funerals.
We rent
the instruments at the cost of 450 cedis, including transportation to venue of every show. We are unable to pay the cost every day because sometimes we make between 200 and 250 cedis. It is difficult, but we have no option. From the guitar, keyboard and drums, the band never owns any instrument. A very worrying situation to them. Staying on the street has not been easy for Tony and his colleagues. Last time at Abreport Junction, a woman nearly pushed our instruments on the ground. She insulted us and said we were making unnecessary noise there. I always cry when I remember. Tony has been married for 8 years. He has 6 children, including 2 sets of twins. He has written about 30 songs. He is among many young visually impaired talents in need of help on the streets of Ghana. If government can support us with sustainable jobs to get us off the streets, we will be happy. Ghana is one of 172 countries to have ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. Nonetheless, inequality, especially in developing countries, has increased by 11%. These widening disparities require sound policies to empower the vulnerable, like physically challenged. Prince Appiah reporting.
Well, in other news, we take a look at commodity prices on the local markets in Kumasi. Here is Benis Edubuahin of Farmerline.
The following are the average prices of commodities in the Kumasi market. A bag of maize goes for 180 cedis. A bag of local rice goes for 230 cedis. 100 cedis of yam goes for 800 cedis. A bag of cocoyam goes for 130 cedis. A bag of cassava goes for 40 cedis. A bag of cassava chips, kokonte, goes for 130 cedis. An average bunch of plantain, apim, goes for 40 cedis. An average bunch of plantain, apensu, goes for 20 cedis. An average bunch of banana goes for 15 cedis. 100 singles of pineapples goes for 120 cedis. 55 singles of watermelon goes for 230 cedis. 100 singles of oranges goes for 300 cedis. A crate of tomatoes goes for 250 cedis. A bag of onions goes for 180 cedis. A bag of dried pepper goes for 300 cedis. A bag of fresh pepper goes for 400 cedis. A crate of eggs goes for 14 cedis. A bag of ginger goes for 210 cedis.
Well, I'm told the name is Bernice and not Bernice. So you heard Bernice Edubuahin of Farmer Line. Now, U.S. arm of Japanese manufacturer Takata has reached a settlement with 44 U.S. state attorneys general into claims it concealed dangerous defects in its exploding airbags. The faulty airbags have been linked to at least a dozen deaths and more than 100 injuries worldwide. The settlement includes a civil penalty of about $650 million. That's it for the business news. It was brought to you by Guaranteed Trust Bank. Amazing news from Guaranteed Trust Bank. It has completed the full integration of the real money transfer direct to accounts service, which allows senders to remit funds either directly into the bank accounts of beneficiaries or into their own bank accounts in Ghana. Just provide details of your account held with GT Bank and any other bank, and within a few minutes your money will be deposited directly into the accounts. You don't need to join long queues in the banking halls. That period is over. For inquiries, call 24-hour hotline 0302-966-755 or 0302-677-704. That's 0302-677-704 or toll free 0800-124-000. Guaranteed Trust Bank, within two rather bank with us. One announcement. Now, a Kumasi-based company is looking for a driver. The competencies required for the job are as follows: must have good knowledge of the highway code, diligent attention to safety on the road, must be very polite, patient, and tolerant, must be willing to work long hours, must be available on call, ability to manage time effectively, and has good communication skills, both verbal and written. Work experience 4 years, accident free. Now, academic qualification: SSS graduate or equivalent, must have a valid license. Interested applicants should send their CVs to the front desk of Love FM or Insure FM. Deadline for submission of relevant documents is on Monday, 26 February 2018. End of announcements.
I love the way she moves, she grooves, love her.